Hi guys, welcome back to BikeMatters. We're here at Motorcycle Live 2019, having a little look around, some full swing, getting nice and busy.
Exactly that, and we're looking out for the hottest new bikes for 2020, so stay tuned for all those new rides.
At number 10 is the Suzuki VStrom 1050. Along with the normal updated styling inspired by the DR Big 750 and 800, you see improved electronics and Euro 5 compliant V-twin engine, whilst also somehow increasing engine power from 99 brake horsepower to 106 brake horsepower. We were checking out the new V-strom at Motorcycle Live this year, and it does look like Suzuki have done a good job with this one. Brett did have a good look around it and really liked the styling. There's also a kit to turn your V-strom into a Dakar-style desert racer for £4 if you fancy it. Now the seat itself is 850mm to 870mm, and you also get a new LCD dash, ride-by-wire throttle with 3 rider modes, improved traction control, with the XT edition seeing a few other extras. The V-strom looks great and has been a staple in the adventure world for years, so it's good to see a new release from Suzuki giving the people what they want. The standard edition will be £10,000 or thereabouts, and the XT around £11,500. In at ninth, the Triumph Thruxton RS from £13,000. A monster of a bike by all accounts. A 1200cc engine, 112 Newton meters of torque, 103.5 brake horsepower from the liquid-cooled parallel twin. This cafe racer will have all of the modcons you want. Fully adjustable Showa forks and Öhlins twin shocks, both 120mm travel, Brembo discs up front and Nissin rear with ABS and other display features. The Thruxton RS really did steal the show at the Triumph stand for me at Motorcycle Live 2019, and this internationally recognisable icon is no doubt going to inspire another generation of cafe racers as it did before. 197 kilograms dry weight, 14.5 litre fuel capacity and 810mm seat height. It's a very accessible bike that will set the world alight. Prices for this one will start at around £13,000. Number 8, the Yamaha Tracer 700. Alongside some other models from Yamaha seeing some makeovers recently for 2020, here's the redesigned Tracer 700. Euro 5 compliant with the CP2 liquid-cooled parallel twin engine, also found in the MT-07 and Tenere 700, outputting 73 brake horsepower along with an aggressive makeover with sportier looks, a larger 17-litre fuel tank and more storage space. This bike almost looks like an R1 Tourer, especially with those twin headlights, and you'll have a good tour-friendly riding position in that 835mm seat. There have been a few changes to keep it current, with an accessory bridge on the handlebar, which was stretched 34mm wider to accommodate for some accessories there. Adjustable front forks and a comfier seat improved on the Tracer 700 as well. It does weigh in at exactly 196 kilograms wet, the same as before, and the all-new Tracer 700 has a release date set as February 2020. At number 7 is the Aprilia RS660. The bike itself wasn't at Motorcycle Live, so we didn't get to see it in person, and a lot of the stats and spec are still under wraps. So I do feel a bit cheeky adding this one in, but the bike still looks incredible, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we get to see it in 2020. The RS660 is heading a new range of middleweight bikes from Aprilia, and the key thing here is the brand new 660cc parallel twin engine making an impressive 100 brake horsepower. And it's an engine derived from the V4 1100cc. Chosen for its compactness and efficiency, this engine will sound and feel like a V-twin. This is thanks to a 270-degree firing interval, but it does remain Euro 5 compliant. And it does also optimize space alongside the lightweight, sleek frame. At 169 kilograms dry and with an adjustable 41mm KYB forks and rear shock, it's kitted out to effectively be race ready, however is primarily a road bike. In fact, although it is a sports bike, Aprilia have designed the riding position with comfort in mind and include cornering ABS assist with the Brembo front and rear brakes. The rumoured price for the RS660 is around £9,000 or under. At number 6, the Triumph BobberTFC. Now, with a limited run of just 750 units, the BobberTFC, which stands for Triumph Factory Custom, is a top-of-the-line custom cruiser, and it will set you back around £15,500. But what a bike you get for your money. Bonneville Bobber, the ultra-premium custom design is something Triumph are all about. They mention 80% of street twin riders personalise their bike, and with plenty of accessories available on their bikes, it's only right the Bobber is redesigned as a custom. As this is a numbered bike with no expectations of the run being extended past 750 units, this is a truly premium high-spec bike. Of course, spec is no concern. It has 13% more peak power than the original Bobber, with 86 brake horsepower at 6,075 revs and 110 newton meters of torque at 4,000 revs. It's got gadgets and spec galore basically, and I'm sure any custom Bobber fans are already on their way to the nearest Triumph dealer with that price tag of £15,500 already well and sorted. Now, as we're almost halfway, a quick shout out goes to Lexham Insurance, who power BikeMatters. So if you're after motorcycle or scooter insurance, go online to lexhaminsurance.co.uk direct to get their best deals. And if you call them for a quote, let them know that BikeMatters sent you. Anyway, let's continue on. At number 5 is the Honda Africa Twin, or the CRF 1100L. Now, one that caught many eyes at Motorcycle Live was the Africa Twin, and of course for that reason it happily finds a place on our list. The Africa Twin has been a hugely popular bike for many years, but especially recently, and considering the adventure market is a very strong one with some cracking bikes, one of the front runners is the Africa Twin. Now, making use of a fully redesigned chassis with lighter mainframe and bolt-on subframe, the Africa Twin is a bike made to be ridden sitting down or standing up, and it is just as comfortable off-road as it is on. The 1100cc parallel twin motor puts out more power than last year, with just over 100 brake horsepower and 105 newton meters of torque for the standard model, and it is still able to stay within those Euro 5 boundaries. Now, matched with Showa 45mm upside down forks and a remote reservoir rear shock, it's also packed with tech. Cornering ABS, an off-road setting with individual switchable rear brake ABS. There's also a touchscreen display with full connectivity. The base model will be £13,049 or thereabouts, with the other uprated models going up from that price. At number 4, and sticking with Honda, is the Honda CBR 1000 RR-R Fireblade, or from now on, just the Fireblade. Now, one that many were waiting for and one that Marc Marquez himself loves, not surprised. The Fireblade doesn't have a V4, but instead an all-new inline 4-cylinder 999.9cc motor with an ultra short stroke and the same 81 by 48.5mm bore as the Panigale V4R. Now, making 215 brake horsepower and weighing 201 kilograms wet, the bike is going to be no slouch at all. Now, from a promo video, the MotoGP legend himself, Marquez, had a go on track with this Fireblade, and from the sounds of it, was absolutely blown away. Whilst the engine itself is obviously going to be unreal, Honda have also implemented other racing aspects to this Fireblade, such as the aerodynamics, which according to Marquez are just as good on his MotoGP bike, which is praise indeed. Although the race characteristics are of no surprise, as parts of this Fireblade are taken from the RC213 VS, which is basically a MotoGP bike with lights. Parts such as the 30.5mm longer swing arm and the rev limiting launch control are all included. So if you're taking this bike on track, it has all of the modes and spec you'd need for some top times. Price is yet to be officially confirmed, but it's estimated at around £19,990. At number 3 is the KTM 390 Adventure. Now, the 390 Adventure has been eagerly anticipated for KTM and all adventure fans alike, especially those who may have been itching for a touring and off-road style adventure bike for the lower CCs. Using the 390 Duke as a reference point, the 390 Adventure has added the typical adventure bike bits you'd expect. So, a larger fuel tank, which is 14.5 litres, taller suspension, which is WP forks of 170mm travel and they're adjustable, and 177mm rear shock. New 19-inch front wheel with 17-inch at the rear, raised and slimmer seat height to 855mm, and there is an optional single seat also, and 172 kilograms wet weight. The 390 Adventure does have the same engine as is present in the Duke, so it's a 43 brake horsepower single cylinder 370cc engine, and it has a few rider aids, a couple of which are the traction control and up and down quick shifter. As usual, and as expected, KTM do not mess around when it comes to kitting out their bikes, and the 390 Adventure is no exception at all. So it's perfect for an adventure rider who's looking for an adventure bike with a smaller capacity. It's priced at £5,499. Now, our top two bikes are quite heavily contested, and it took quite a while for us to decide which order we want to put it in. If you let us know in the comments which one you think should be top, we'll go from there and discuss it in the comments, but we've gone for this order. So at number 2 is the Kawasaki Z250. Not content with having the quickest and most ridiculous hypersports bike on the market in the H2, Kawasaki have come back in with the Z250. It's a naked bike introduced ready for the 2020 market. Supercharged and super naked, the 998cc inline 4 puts out a stonking 197 brake horsepower at 11,000 RPM and 137 Newton meters of torque with that supercharger. It does weigh 239 kilograms, but any less than it would probably start flying off the ground. At Motorcycle Live 2019, it was the main attraction for the Kawasaki stand, and it was constantly crowded, so waiting for a chance to take a closer look was tricky. It has all the features you'd ever want, with a spec list longer than my arm, showing that Kawasaki are really throwing everything they can offer into this bike. Highlights are the adjustable Showa forks and rear shock, massive Brembo 320mm dual front discs and a single 260mm rear disc, and a 19-litre tank with 830mm seat height. I did sit on this one and it is surprisingly comfortable, so I fit on it fine at 6'4". I'm sure everyone else is going to fit on it fine as well. This Z250 has come in and stole the show. Although it does have some fierce competition in 2020, especially for best new naked motorcycle, this one is definitely going to be up there. The Z250 feels like it's deceivingly comfortable. Taking this on the road for the first time is probably going to be quite the experience. The cost is going to be around £15,745. So at number 1, we've put the Ducati Street Fighter V4S at the top. Now this one is absolutely stunning and is well deserving of a place towards the top. A new release for 2020 from Ducati, the Street Fighter V4S was introduced with the same 1103cc engine as the Panigale V4, the MotoGP derived Desmo Sedici Stradale V4, and it's available in both a standard, although I don't think there's anything standard about this bike, and an S version. Of course, the S version is what we've gone for here. The looks of the Street Fighter even incorporate a mask of the Joker as an inspiration. This engine puts out 208 brake horsepower or 217 brake horsepower when fitted with the optional 6 kilograms lighter Akrapovic racing exhaust system. The engine itself is used as a structural chassis element, and the front frame is just 4 kilograms and attached directly to the upper crankcase and rear bank, with a single-sided swing arm mounted at the crankcase also, all exercises in keeping the bike stiff and compact with better improved stiffness to weight ratio. The seat is 845mm, it's got a TFT screen, biplane wings, which you can of course see yourself, fully adjustable Öhlins front and rear shock, which is on this V4S model. The standard model has Showa front forks. Ducati's latest tech package with all of the rider modes and adjustments, the Street Fighter is seriously a strong contender for bike reveal of the year. Prices start from £17,595 for the standard, or this S model for £19,795. But I think you'll agree what a bike it looks like it will become. So that just about concludes our top 10 new motorcycles for 2020 list. Of course, majority of these being ones that we've seen at Motorcycle Live 2019 as well. There is a few bikes that we may have missed on the list itself, so if there's one that you really are screaming at the screen saying, hang on, why have we missed this one? Let us know in the comments down below and which one you'd swap it out with. More than happy to discuss it with you. Of course, watch down there, like the video, subscribe to BikeMatters, and hit the bell icon if you want to be notified of all of our latest releases. But that will be all from me today. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.